Hello, I just finished playing Little Hope, the next chapter in the Dark Pictures Anthology developed by Supermassive Games. This is the second title in a series of video games that focus on decision-based horror stories, kind of in an anthology format, like the same way horror stories used to be told like hundreds of years ago, like in magazines. You'd have collections of stories. So this is what Supermassive is trying to do with this new series of games. And overall, I enjoyed the experience. There's a lot to think about these games. So Supermassive developed the popular game Until Dawn from 2015, which it focuses on a group of college students that go to a cabin and then some spooky stuff starts happening. So they decided to make like a complete series out of these horror games. So they followed up last year with Man of Medan, which was the first chapter in this series, and now with Little Hope. So Little Hope focuses on another group of college students that become stranded after their bus crashes, and they start walking through a ghost town called Little Hope. And then some really scary stuff starts happening. So it's a pretty basic plot. Overall, the story is kind of more or less good. There's a lot of cliches in the story, but overall, I think it was a good experience. So the gameplay of Little Hope is exactly the same as in Man of Medan and also Until Dawn. So basically, you have to control like all the characters in the game, and then their fates are decided by a mix of like personal choices, dialogue choices, and also like quick time events. So if you fail these quick time events, their character can actually die in the middle of the game, and you get an entirely different result at the end. And this is something I really liked. I really enjoy decision-based games, such as like, for example, Beyond Two Souls, Telltale's The Walking Dead series. And I like this game because of that. I really enjoy like being in control of my character's fates. That's something I really enjoy about these games. But Little Hope's story is basically kind of like a step-by-step of what we're used to with horror movies or horror video games. So a lot of the game consists of like the characters going through the town and like exploring, and then like going into an abandoned building. Something spooky happens and then they leave, and then they enter another abandoned building and the same thing repeats. So it's kind of repetitive. Like the first half of the game is kind of slow, kind of boring, but then the second half really picks up with the intensity, and I appreciate like the way they picked it up in the second half, because the first half was kind of boring, and that can turn off a lot of players. But the good thing is it's a short game. You can basically finish the game in 4 hours. It's $30, so I don't really mind the price. But also I want to comment that it's really well produced. Like, this is a really well produced game. You can tell like Supermassive put a lot of care into the performances, into the characters, and that's probably the best thing about it. It's like the performances and the characters, the motion capture are all super great. That's like one of the best things about this series in general. But yeah, I really enjoyed the way they used the witch trials as a setting for this game. This is a topic I'm really passionate about, and I was happy to see how Supermassive handled it in the game. I think like the story could have been like polished a little bit better. There's like a single jump scare that gets repeated over the game, that to the point it became tiring. For example, like a character would be walking down the street, and then suddenly like a ghost comes out of nowhere, screams as loudly as possible, takes his hand, and then the character gets transported into a flashback where like something is explained to them about what happened in Little Hope hundreds of years ago. But that single jump scare got old pretty quick. Like I normally hate jump scares in movies, not because I'm scared, but because it's just annoying to, get like blasted into your headphones like a really loud sound out of nowhere. But yeah, overall, like some horror stories have to rely on jump scares. Although, like by the end, like all the apparitions that start chasing the characters are kind of scary, kind of spooky. So I kind of enjoyed those. But yeah, like overall, this game, I think it did well what it was trying to do. It's obviously not perfect, but I really enjoy and love what Supermassive is doing with the series of stories in the Dark Pictures Anthology. I'm definitely going to play the next one, House of Ashes. That's going to come out next year, apparently, if it doesn't get pushed back like most games nowadays. But yeah, I'm really excited to see what else happens in the future. And yeah, overall, I enjoyed the game, but it's not as good as it doesn't reach like the levels of Until Dawn. That was a really good game that did everything well with this story. Maybe it needed more time to like flesh out the characters and make you care about them. But yeah, So yeah, overall, I think Little Hope deserves 72 out of 100. It's okay. It's a decent game. You're not gonna regret buying it. I think it was good, and yeah. So overall, I enjoyed it. So, anyways, that's everything for today. Stay put for more reviews in the future, and that's it for Little Hope. So I'll see you guys next time.